meeting to order.
Wow.
Lordy Lord.
Just in case.
It's official.
Your official
Okay.
handler is here.
So this is our special meeting that we called to order here for a few very specific items. The first order of business is to appoint our a village attorney. Before we go any further, I'd just like to, I don't think Jerry's on here, but
No,
No.
Carol,
I was hoping he would be here. We would be able to thank him for his service.
absolutely.
He will continue, I'm sure, to assist us as we move forward. We did a series of interviews with people, attorneys that we had solicited, and there's Anna and I have recommended that we hire our new attorney, Scott Goldie. I also, in the process, circulated a retainer agreement so that everybody could see that today also, so. So the first order of business would be to appoint Scott as our attorney. I need a motion and a second.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
Welcome
Welcome,
aboard.
Scott.
Welcome.
We're very efficient.
Yeah, sometimes.
Perhaps tonight.
I do know that Jerry will be back and maybe next week we might have an opportunity to thank him personally.
Great.
And face to face, so
That's fantastic.
I will do my best to get him here and thank him, so. Same time, a retainer agreement has been circulated. I will say that Sally and I reviewed it because, you know, we didn't send it to the other attorney.
All right.
I have no questions or concerns. Sally didn't. Anybody on the board have any questions about the retainer agreement?
I didn't know. It seems to.
This seems to be formulated in a way so that well, Scott is listed as our attorney. I think he has the access to, certainly to Jerry for some
Yes.
history and past things that we've done.
Yeah.
And all of his files
All
too.
boxes. yeah.
50 some, I guess.
Yeah, the staff is like, can we get rid of this? Can we get rid of this? They were hoping.
No, you can't. Plan making. Information.
I did say to Scott in an email earlier today that we need to talk about, you know, the future of those documents.
Yeah.
And I think Sally,
I've been talking with Dave Reagan. He's working on it for us.
okay, I don't know if anything can go away, but at any rate. So I need a motion to approve this retainer agreement. So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay,
Can I ask a quick question about the documents, just really quick? If they're 50 boxes, I'm guessing there's a lot of years there, right?
oh yeah,
I'm guessing a whole lot of it is electronic, but some of it might not be.
well, I think Jerry had a unique way of doing his filing and he saved, I think every email ever sent is
Yeah,
electronic.
I'm sure.
But he's printed it all, and I've seen how he operates, I've seen what he's given me over the years. You know, he has a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no,
I think
which
it
I
did-
think is good.
Well, yeah, but
Always.
at some point, the retention schedule for some of this is probably,
Gone.
I don't know.
Pass.
I haven't gone through it, so I
Okay.
don't know. I just
No.
know. I just know there are a lot of boxes, so,
Okay.
you know, and I don't know at what point, if anything had been aged out or anything. of that
Right,
sort.
Okay.
right.
How many years do you keep stuff with?
I don't know on the
I
legal.
don't, I mean, I think Jerry had a particular way, and I think, you know, he had a special relationship with the village,
Yeah.
so I have no idea whether anything in the 35 years was ever, you know, purged.
Right.
So,
I mean, just look at the history of the next thing on our.
Oh, yeah.
agenda.
Yeah,
I mean, you'd want to know all the little
Yeah.
details from.
Well, yeah, and
Right,
I think
right,
that
right.
if we have a plan to move forward and where we can relocate those two so that we
Yeah.
can go through. And make sure we have what we need.
right.
No.
And if there is stuff that should be scanned. Well, that's a big project though.
Well, there's grants all the time for
Records
scanning,
management.
records
Records
management and scanning
Good.
records, so We've
Yeah.
tried before. I don't know. We haven't been successful.
Just, I mean, I was just,
Okay,
questions. Thank you.
so I'm approved to sign this.
Yes.
You want me to sign this one?
Please.
Okay.
Would you like to walk out with that?
Yeah,
I don't think I signed it for you.
Today is the 11th. Okay,
Holy moly, how did we get here?
Well into the new year. aren't we?
2020.
well, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Is there one spot or two spots?
Well, there's one I have to sign.
You have to sign
Actually,
it.
there are two.
There are two. Okay,
Places you have to sign, yeah.
I missed it.
How about if I get this back and then.
Okay,
You get a copy for them.
Yep.
Yeah.
where else do I have to sign? Is there a
It's like
second?
the last page.
Oh, okay. Ah,
They're distinctive signatures.
there
They're
you
no
go.
doctor signatures.
no,
They're
no,
nice.
no.
Okay,
And then you'll send us.
the next item on the agenda was to discuss the purchase of property. Or properties plural. What I did was circulate to you what I wanted to read tonight. I didn't know who would be here. I didn't know if press was going to be here. Can certainly use this as a reference for if anybody asks you questions. So for many years, the village has been working to redevelop the Midtown Plaza that is in a state of serious disrepair. In recent years, and with the vision of SUNY Canton's president, the village has applied for DRI funding that includes this property. The plan has been to turn this dilapidated plaza at the center of our downtown into a mixed-use development offering diverse housing options and an entrepreneurship center that will anchor the project, will ignite innovation, spur the creation of new business, and ensure enduring economic and community growth. Each application through the years required that we have obtained site control from the owners. And for a 2-year period, a purchase option existed. These options expired during the time of COVID and were not able to be renewed. Several months ago, a new grant opportunities have arisen to target properties like the Midtown Plaza for redevelopment. The village has taken a hard look at this area of our village and decided to undertake negotiations with the owners of the properties to gain control of 6 for the specific purpose of aiding development that will be beneficial to the area. We as a municipality have determined that this development will create jobs, provide needed infrastructure, and will stimulate our local economy. Plan for the area has been well established, and the anchor for the project, the SUNY Canton Entrepreneurship Center, has received approximately $4 million to date. Village is wrapping up negotiations with the current owners to acquire the property for redevelopment and to allow for grants to be applied for. I did it in this way, so it was very specific about, our reasoning for this, the things that we're doing, what we're trying to accomplish. As far as I'm concerned at this point, we're moving forward publicly. We are still in negotiations and Scott has been in contact with Gary Cohen's attorney. Will be some back and forth on what we have proposed. Jerry had written a document. I have a signed document from one property owner. I have affidavits from both property owners that allow us to apply for grants. And we are currently trying to wrap up negotiations on the Cohen properties. I think Scott's waiting to hear from,
I
His attorney
did reach
inserted.
out to Attorney Germain this morning.
Uh-huh.
That he said he had some changes.
Mhm.
That his internet was down this morning. He hoped to get it out to me. I did not receive anything. About 4 o'clock, I called his office saying I didn't receive anything. Secretary said their internet's still down.
okay.
So,
Hmm. Hmm.
once I receive it, then we'll know what their comments are
Sure.
in response to what the village has proposed.
Okay. Any questions, comments from the board? We are proceeding as proceeding forward.
Yeah.
Are you like releasing this to, as a,
I will send a copy of that to the press.
okay, I just would make one grammatical change.
Oh, well, hey, listen, where,
So when it says several months ago, it should say new grant opportunities arose.
have arisen, have a row, you want me
Because
to,
several
just
months ago is the
arose.
past.
Take
so
the
you-
have out.
Yeah,
right.
take the have out and just, instead of have arisen,
Hmm.
just
Carol, be proud of.
Carol's cheering, I'm sure.
she what?
Cheering up.
Oh.
for her.
Several months ago, new grant.
opportunities
opportunities
arose,
arose.
happened in the past.
But I also make one really quick.
Well,
The last sentence, redevelopment and to allow for grants to be applied for. I would change to redevelopment.
Carol says, yay, Barb.
To
allow-
redevelopment to allow for pursuit of grants or grant monies instead. We
Because
shouldn't.
it's not supposed to end. in a
You're not
proposition.
supposed to end with four.
Hmm.
So redevelopment
Sorry,
and allow.
and to allow for grants.
no,
Allow
or
for
to
grant
per-
applications.
Right, allow for grant applications, right. Or to pursue grant applications. Right,
Where were you guys a few minutes ago?
sorry,
That's okay.
that,
Sorry, I just thought if you.
I had my editor in chief there and
Just to, see, you know,
you're slipping late.
well, listen, they're not looking at my copy.
I will make
You know-
corrections before it gets sent.
Sorry.
yeah,
good.
just, yeah. the
And,
pursue
thank you for those. What I wanted you to have was something, if people ask you questions,
Which
Right.
is
So that
very helpful.
you can,
Very
at least talk in that way.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Carol's
Um,
asking if the retainer with Scott is public information. I'm just answering your yes.
Yeah. Um. Okay. Moving on. The next item is to set a public hearing for Restore New York grant applications. This is a requirement that we are applying for 2 grants. When we sent our letter of interest in, we applied for both the 2 million and the $10 million. Permission to apply for those. We were given the notice to proceed.
Correct.
And we are working on those. Lee, you want to say anything? We will have to set a public hearing. I'll get to that, but any background on where we're at? that you want to update the board on or?
I mean, I'm happy to answer any questions. I think the applications are due on the 27th. There's some information, some details that we need before we can do a legal notice. First of all, set the date, but also there's a property assessment list with all the parcels that need to be listed. We need square footages and things like that. So we're just trying to nail some of that information down, and that has to be published 3 consecutive days prior to the public hearing. So, yeah, just working with the developers and so you can't on getting down to the details. So.
We have to set a public hearing and I had hoped initially to do that at our monthly meeting. But there, right now is not time to get there. There's certain things that have to happen, including some publications. So
Okay.
what we would like to do is schedule it before our joint meeting on the 25th with the town. We were hoping for 5:30. I think that we're meeting with the town at 6. The agenda looks rather full for that night, but I don't think it'll be, well. There's a lot of things on it, but I think it's like updates on things. So, and I'm hoping to have a lot more on the next door property here.
Okay, so 5:30, is that what you said?
Yeah, I think a half an hour would be fine, don't you, Lynn?
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, you never know who's gonna show and who's gonna
Mhm.
have questions. or
We
comments.
are going to try to get the developers involved. And see if the developers from Laker Development can at least be online to present some information. We do have the document that was used by SUNY Canton when they've gone out and looked for funding for their piece. And there's some good information in here, and did you get an updated version of this, Lee? Okay, we will have an updated version, but I can probably separate out everything except the budget. Yeah, take the budget out and forward what they've given to everyone.
I
Okay.
got I think the narrative of that.
It's the
likely
same.
won't change
Okay.
much. I do have the budget that they sent to her in December.
Mhm.
Which is updated from what's attached to that. It's at 17 something million now.
This, the numbers have changed. This is 16 and change. This is about 16.5. And the new numbers are 17,
Yeah, a little over 17. I
Yeah.
don't remember exactly, but
a little over 17 million. Mhm. So the narrative is probably good, so I think we can get you the narrative. If I can't take this page out, I'll,
I can do it.
okay,
So
So if you-
just
what-
send it to the board.
send to the board, so that they know how they've described this and their participation. I think that'd be good information.
I can send the updated budget too.
That's fine. I didn't want to
please.
send the
Old
wrong
numbers,
budget
yeah.
information.
Well, that's the most recent thing that we have. I did just get an email from Devin at Laker, that they're working on like the updated site plan and stuff like that, so,
Okay.
so we know the.
So there's a lot of
division
work.
amongst the parcels, but, I think there's gonna be a lot more finagling to make their budget fit into Restore New York's budget template and that kind of stuff, so
Sure.
when we get there, there'll be some, shuffling or,
Okay.
some working with them to try to understand what categories certain things fit under, because not everybody categorizes things the same, so
Okay.
Certainly not according to the states.
I'm sure.
That's right. That's
Well,
true.
And for Restore too, you have to look at every source of funding and say what that source is paying for,
Right,
so.
yeah.
There's,
Not like it just goes into.
no, so SUNY has 3 grants, I think, now for their piece, and then there's what Restore New York is paying for, and then there's what the developers are paying for, and so that's one of the hardest pieces of the puzzle is to try to put
Right.
in one big spreadsheet
Right.
Wow, no,
and make all
Okay.
the numbers match.
that makes you fun.
Yeah.
So I think if we can set the public hearing for the required public hearing for the grant for 5:30 prior to our joint meeting.
That gives you enough time. Given that it's due on the 27th.
We don't have much choice.
Yeah,
And
I
the
think,
public hearing is really just to receive public comment, so the majority of
Nothing
the
happened.
application will be completed by then.
Right.
And this time we don't have to actually physically mail a binder in like
Oh,
we did last
fantastic.
time.
Good.
We
Really?
don't have to have it done a day before. So
Right.
this one is all online, so that's a little easier than the last time.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, so we do have to document what is said and include that as part of the package, but as long as we record it and can get minutes typed up, to include, we should be fine. The one thing though, I will say that we need to do in advance, Sally, is there is a fee, an application fee,
Usually it's like
and
500.
they want us to wire it.
Okay.
So since we're doing 2 applications, there'll be 2 fees, and we have to send evidence of the wire with our application.
Okay.
So we'll have to do that. We can talk about it next week maybe or something.
Do you need the purchase agreement signed before then?
No.
the site control
If we
affidavit,
had it,
Okay,
you know,
the
that would
affidavit
be
I
nice.
have it.
sufficient?
The affidavit is a Restore New York thing, which we
Okay.
have, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
I have both of them.
If we do not have site control, we need the site control affidavit signed by the owner, which.
Yes.
Mike has
Okay.
both.
Yes,
Okay, then,
and acquisition of property would be down the road anyway, so we'll have time. Once I have that affidavit, I think we're in good
Okay.
shape. One was sent via email. And one was, I have the original, so Gary is in Mexico, in the mountains somewhere.
Fabulous.
He's spending his
Meanwhile.
month down there,
Nice.
but he calls me,
He calls it
Oh, yeah.
regularly
he
from
calls me.
Mexico.
Fabulous. We love that he's having
It would
conversations.
prefer if we had it before that. But it's not
Yeah,
necessary
I-
since we have that.
So the affidavit is good right now.
Right.
so. Okay,
Okay.
so we'll do a public hearing then at 5:30.
Mhm.
And I think we're good. I have nothing for executive section. So with that being said, I make a motion. I'd like a motion for us to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Perfect. Wow.
Nice to see you guys.
Hi, Carl.
Nice to see everybody.
Good to see you too.
Yeah.
You look very organized.
I'm pretty organized,
Surprised.
I figured.
I had a
you'd
big victory this morning. I I won over the basement. So
Oh.
that was my last big thing. So, yeah,
That's great. How's that new house?
it's great.
Oh, good.
I've been meaning to
really
call
great.
you. I've been kind of busy with stuff.
Yeah, well, call me. I'd love it.
I'll catch up.
Anna's keeping me up to date on things.
Say it isn't so.
She needs to talk to somebody when she drives home from work.
It's true. It's totally
Oh,
true.
she called me today, though.
So I'll be in town in February, so I'll come in and see everybody.
Sounds
Right.
good.
Okay,
Thanks.
very exciting. I really was, I was
I know you
excited to hear that you're moving forward, and sorry there were no, nobody from the paper here to hear it. We'll see.
I'm
I'll
surprised.
catch up to him.
Yeah. Now we
I
got
bet
a
you will.
grant
Okay.
statement that's gonna go their way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good to see you all. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Can you
Okay.
Can you copy that statement to me as well?
Yeah, I gotta make the